When can I get my MacBook Pro 16? When can I pre-order my AirPods Pro, Chris? That's pretty much every text message I've gotten for the past week. I mean, not directly like that, but enough ribbing that I've gotten the message. Yeah, so here's the deal. Keep hope alive, kids. I don't think there's going to be an Apple event anymore in October. It just doesn't make sense. It would be pretty rude to do that, to be honest. Unless they're secretly flying people in and they just haven't talked about it. But as of right now, no one I know has gotten an invite. No one I know of has gotten an invite. No one shared that they've gotten an invite, if there is in fact an invite for an Apple event. So, I don't think there's an Apple event. Are there new products? Looking to the future, I think we need to look back to the past. I still think we're going to see the MacBook Pro this year, like 89% certainty. It would make a lot of sense from a business perspective that we also see AirPods, the new AirPods, the AirPods Pro, whatever you want to call them, we see those drop this year as well. But talking about the past and learning from the future, look back to March of 2019, okay? And I didn't give this enough thought prior to my last video, which, by the way, I'll just offer it here. I'm sorry. I was wrong. There's no Apple October event, or there's like a 17% chance of it right now. Okay. But going back to that March discussion, Apple had a March event, and they talked all about their new services. They talked about News Plus, pay subscription model news service. They talked about Apple TV, and they're going to have some new, Apple TV Plus, the subscription service launching there with their new content and their new shows that they're also going to be offering. Apple was kind of announcing that they're getting into a new realm. That was their launch into services. They did that in March with no hardware at all. They didn't even talk about a new Apple TV, which I also think is overdue with all this stuff, but that's another time. What they did do that's differentiating is they had product releases. They just did a press release. They said, hey, new AirPods are available now, go buy them. They shut down the store every morning, and then they launched new products. Really refreshed products. I can't say new. They took the iPad 10.5 Pro, they called it an Air. They updated the AirPods, which I think is the most significant thing they did in March, other than all the services crap. They came out with some new AirPods with wireless charging. They did that, and then, of course, they updated the iPod Touch. Not really updated it, but it's the new iPod Touch, even though it's really nothing new about it. So, they did all those things as product announcements, press releases, and store updates. And then, the actual press event was to talk about the services side of things. I think that there is a small chance. We've never seen an Apple event in November that I can recall in my knowledge. I'm really testing my knowledge here, but I don't believe that we've ever seen one in November, ever. I do think we might see one this year. Why? Because their TV service is launching in November. If they're going to do a services only event in November, that would make sense, considering they get on and talk about how many people have, loved Apple TV, blah, 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 free press, because everyone reports that Apple's TV is a success or whatever. You're talking about it around Thanksgiving time frame. They drop a new TV right after. And I know I'm focused a lot on the U.S. market. I'm in the U.S., and that's kind of what I tend to think about. I know not everybody has Thanksgiving, but here's the deal. I think they're still going to drop a new MacBook Pro this year. It makes a lot of sense to do that. I think you're going to see new AirPods. I think AirPods are now a higher likelihood than the MacBook, just because if you look at the PowerBeats Pro, they've been falling in price. If you look at the AirPods, they've been falling in price. Apple gives all these people like Amazon and Rakuten and some other ones, they've been giving them the permission to drop pricing on them, which I think is a tell that something else is in the pipeline. What is that something? I think it's the AirPods Pro. So I think that you should not lose hope. I know I was a little bit wrong. I'm sorry. I called that Apple event in October. I don't think there's going to be one in October anymore. I think there might be one in November where they don't talk about hardware, where there might be some press releases in or around that time that get some of the new stuff we were talking about before. What do you think they're coming out with in November? Or are they? Am I just totally wrong again? Is that all I do now? Don't forget to come back here and laugh at me. In the meantime, if you like what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe. My name is Chris. You've been watching my channel, Battery Powered. Thank you so much for joining us. Be well, folks.